Nikola Jokic is the best young player that nobody is talking about. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Kid Taj, and today we're going to be talking about Denver Nuggets center Nikola Jokic. I honestly had no idea that we were going to be witness to something like this, because this is actually really crazy. We don't see a lot of super young centers putting up triple doubles, but that's exactly what happened last night. Nuggets center Nikola Jokic went out, put up a triple double. And it was a W for the Nuggets, who have been really good, actually a lot better than I thought, which is actually, something that I wanted to stress a lot here, because, I don't think that when we were making our predictions for the Western Conference or Eastern, when we're making our playoff predictions, who's going to be good, who's going to be not, I don't think that a lot of people had the Denver Nuggets as a top 8 team. I thought that, they were we were all thinking this was going to be a lottery team. They weren't really big deal. And there's no reason really to think why they'd be in the playoffs. They're so young, they're so inexperienced, they're a rebuilding team. That's what we all think of when we think of the Denver Nuggets, but they're actually in that 8th seed. They got a full game on the Portland Trail Blazers. They've been playing pretty solid this season, 22-27. Okay, that's not the best record, but it's honestly a lot better than we thought it would be. They're scoring 110 points per game. They have one of the best offenses in the NBA. That's also something that we didn't expect. That's the 3rd best points per game in the Western Conference and the 4th best points per game that's the 3rd best points per game in the NBA, okay? The Denver Nuggets have been doing work, especially on that offensive end, and it's all because, a lot of it is because of Nikola Jokic. They have a good coach there, but you look at that team, they don't really have a true point guard on that team. Emmanuel Moody has been coming off the bench lately. He's not showing as many signs of promise as, we hoped he would. Jameer Nelson is starting at point guard right now. Gary Harris and Jamal Murray are your shooting guards. Those guys, you don't really know what to expect from those guys oftentimes. Gallinari and Chandler are, your small forward position is pretty stacked for the Nuggets, but Chandler wants to get out of there. He's been one of the best players on that team all season, but apparently there's rumors that he doesn't want to be there anymore. You got Nurkic, who looked like he was going to be a guy with a lot of potential, but this season, he hasn't been all that great. Kenneth Faried has been in trade rumors forever, and he's always a guy that hasn't lived up to his potential. And then you got Nikola Jokic. This is a guy that was coming off the bench to start the season. He's only averaging 26 minutes per game, but he's averaging 16 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, a block, and a steal. He's shooting 59% from the field, even shooting 33% from threes, making half a three a game, so not shooting it that much, but, he can step out and knock down that shot if needed. This is another situation that's really crazy, because Nikola Jokic is only 21 years old, but he's maddeningly efficient. He's such a great passer for a young big man. Field goal percentage is incredible. The dude's just really efficient. He just helps your team out. And it's kind of like the Joel Embiid situation a little bit, because he's only playing 26 minutes per game this season, but he's averaging 16 points. So if you were going to, put that up to 36 minutes, if you were going to, just mess with that a little bit, this guy would be probably averaging 20, 21, 22 points per game, 10, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and, he'd be called an elite center maybe in the NBA. And this team, he's putting them on the verge of the playoffs. He's a guy that's very underrated, even though, it seems like a lot of attention should be on him because he's a young player. He's a big man that's, impressing us with his passing ability. He's leading a young team into the playoff picture. He's still not getting the credit he deserves. When we think of young, great big men or young players in general, we like to focus on the guys like Giannis, Porzingis, Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, and don't get me wrong, all those guys are great players. However, this is a guy that's getting not nearly enough recognition. We're not talking about Nikola Jokic as one of the best young players. If you ask me who the top 5 young players are in the NBA, guys that are first, second year players, or 3rd year, guys that are stars trying to get on a winning team, I talk about Giannis, I talk about Kat, I talk about Joel Embiid, I talk about Porzingis, and I definitely talk about this guy because he totally deserves to be in the conversation right with a lot of those guys. Honestly, he deserves a lot of this hype. He's a player that, he's not always flashy. He's not exactly jumping out of the gym, okay? He's not going to do dribble pull-up moves on you, but he's a great passer. He's a really good fundamental player. He takes smart shots. He's extremely effective, and he's he's leading this team. I mean, he's done a great job. A 26.72 PER is also something incredible, just something to behold. In the month of January, this guy was absolutely incredible. He averaged 24 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, a block, and a steal. In 31 minutes per game, he shot 61% from the field in that time, 33 from the three-point line, and 87 from the line. I'll repeat that, 24 points per game in the month of January with 11 rebounds. This is ridiculous. And the Nuggets, they don't have enough good players to win consistently. You can't really look at this guy and say, well, he's not winning games. Well, he doesn't really have much help. He doesn't even have as much help as a guy like Karl Anthony Towns does, and his team is doing better this season than Karl Anthony Towns' team. And I'm not saying that he's better than Karl Anthony Towns because of that, but I'm just saying that's something to look at. It's not like you see a ton of guys that can make a great team on this Nuggets team. It's not like you're seeing like all these great players, great young players. It's like a bunch of misfits, and you got to trade for people, and I don't know. It's just a weird team, but not a team you expected to see in the playoffs. But they're probably gonna be there. I mean, the Portland Trail Blazers, I don't know what their deal is. I don't know if they're gonna make it. They do have a good shot, but the Nuggets, honestly, they've been playing extremely well. I think they're starting to figure out exactly what they need to do. They started off the season really rocky. They weren't even close to the playoff picture when the season started, but now they've worked their way back up thanks to, this in large part to this guy. Last game they beat Milwaukee, and he had 20 points, 13 boards, and 11 assists on 8 of 15 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. I mean, he does it all. He's very effective in what he does, and he's just a guy that deserves more credit. This was a short video, but I really had to stress, how great this guy's been. I needed to acknowledge it. I need you guys to know, because this guy is absolutely ridiculous. He had last game before that, he had a 29.14 rebound, 8 assist, 2 block game. Before that, 23, 11, and 6. And he had a few games in that month of January. He had a 35.12 rebound game against San Antonio, a 30.11 rebound game against Orlando, 29.15 rebound game against LA Lakers. He's just putting up ridiculous stat lines, and he's doing it efficiently, and he's just been extremely good and lacking of praise. That's why I'm giving it to him. And I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.